Okay. Okay, thanks, Evan. Okay, my name's Neil Bird. I'm going to talk to you, as Evan pointed out, about Novux, about a new platform coming from CommScope, or from CommScope. Myself and Peterson Moreira will talk through some of the products and some of the developments that we've had within this product line. We're both global product line managers within the Novux platform. So we'll try and guide you through, obviously, any questions you have. If you'd like to obviously save them and ask them towards the end of the presentation, that will just help us a little bit in terms of time. So what we're looking to run through with you today is just to go through and have a look at some of the customer challenges that are being faced in today's marketplace. I'm going to describe a little bit to you about the Novux, what we call the Novux FTTX ecosystem. And then I will then start to look into the product line that I look after, which is the hardened terminals inside Novux. And then I will pass over to Peterson, who will then talk you through the Novux compact closure range and also the specialty range of closures within Novux. Hopefully at the end of there, come the end, if we have any questions and answers, then we have time at the end, obviously, to field those questions with you. Okay, so when we're looking at today's marketplaces, we're seeing a rise of some unprecedented challenges. Most of these challenges about in the competitive market and the challenging macro environments that are creating these challenges. And we're starting to see certainly a rise in increased competition, quite high pressure on OpEx. We're also well documented, especially over the recent pandemic period, supply chain constraints. And also we're seeing labor constraints and labor challenges in the deployment of the networks. So when we're looking inside our Novux range, we're looking at the ways in which we can help and hopefully solve some of these issues that you see. So within CommScope, we all recognize as well that when this fiber race to meet these challenges, it demands a new approach in the way that we solve some of these challenges. So to help with this, we have the Novux, what we call the Novux modular ecosystem. So within this modular ecosystem, we are starting from the ground up to transform FTTX networks with an end-to-end architecture that is both configurable, scalable, and ultimately simpler. Within this, we recognize that we need to compete with a versatile portfolio of products in a global platform to suit the global market. We also need to make sure that we reduce emissions and environmental concerns, as well as keeping an ecological and aesthetical designs to meet the customer demands that we see. Within this program, we are looking mainly at three main pillars that we look within this. Is, as we said earlier, is to keep something that is configurable and easily configurable, something that we can scale as well, and ultimately to look at simple and easy solutions to deploy. Some of our design goals within this approach, within this ecosystem, are to obviously deliver faster installation times, also try and be faster to the marketplace, while still delivering smaller and more aesthetically pleasing solutions, and ultimately delivering to you, our end customers, less SKUs, while still making the products we supply to you future enabled and future ready for any new technologies that may or may not appear in the next few years. So today, taking these pillars, we're going to deep dive, or we're going to have a look a little bit further into the terminal ranges that you see here. So within the hardened terminals with myself, within specialty closures and the specialty terminals that also bridge in these range, and also within compact closures, while also recognizing that what we are doing within the ecosystem will also enable us to springboard to new products in the future that we will bring, obviously, in a later course. So with that, what we're going to have a look at now is we're going to start to have a little look within the hardened connectivity system. So within the Novux hardened connectivity family, we have a range of solutions within the same terminals that we deliver that will satisfy single fiber deployments, traditional single fiber, be it either with point-to-point or with splitters. We also look within multi-fiber terminals. We're recognizing that there's a need within the market to maybe take hardened connectivity one stage further back in the network to deliver a multi-fiber connection point. We're also not forgetting our heritage within fiber indexing to deliver fast and easy terminal deployments. We also recognize as well that there's a growing need for tap terminals, for tap technologies, especially within rural areas. But also within these terminal ranges, we're also seeing more and more demand for a mix of this technology within terminals. Traditionally, we would have had terminals which would be dedicated to one of these four families previously. Well, now we're looking to see and looking to develop and offer terminals that have this multi-use facility. Of course, we have to be able to connect all these together. So as part of this solution, we also offer obviously the fiber drop cables and various different methods within those drop cables to suit the needs. And as with any system, there is also a need for some speciality terminals, which we'll come to later. So with the platform, with the Novux hardened platform, when we're looking at the three pillars we mentioned earlier of how do we make this configurable? So we're looking to do more applications in more environments with the same platform, while still simplifying that platform and how we present it. We want it to be scalable. So we recognize that we want this to need this to be faster to market. So we need to be agile in the way that we offer these solutions, as well as making sure that we still keep our solutions simple. Some of the challenges, especially when we mentioned with the labor challenges, is the last thing that we want to do is put complicated items out into the field that takes lots of training across many different platforms and many different solutions. So we want to keep this simple, keep our presentation simple and keep the complexity of our solutions down. So a little bit more detail and going into, say, the configurability of our systems. So we're looking to support a wide technology within our platforms. Within our hardened terminal range, we basically, within a full size presentation, so in an OptiTap size presentation, we have three main families, what we call the hardened single fiber terminals, which take care or deliver the point-to-point and the splitter and multi-use terminals. We also have hardened indexing terminals, which offer all of the indexing facilities that we had previously, plus moving it a stage further with, as I mentioned earlier, more multi-use facilities. And then we have the hardened tap terminals for the single fiber deployments, mainly within rural areas. And as well as offering this in the full size range of terminals in the OptiTap size, we're also introducing a newer connectivity system in Prodigy, which again enables us to deliver hardened connectivity solutions that are smaller and more efficient and more aesthetically pleasing to customers and locations. So then when we look at the scalability of the solutions that we're looking to offer within our hardened connectivity platform, is a way that we can be faster to market, to give you the benefits of faster product availability, to satisfy needs and high volumes on demand, to potentially offer solutions with pay as you grow, but also recognizing it's a very competitive marketplace that you're looking to serve. And within that marketplace, sometimes you're competing for space on critical infrastructure. So how can we help you secure that position? So one of the things that you'll see on the slide in front of you is the specialty terminals. So these specialty terminals are a small terminal that allows you to pass by on a route and then go back at a later date when you have to take up on those terminal positions to be able to go and add that infrastructure at a later date. And finally, when we're looking at our pillars that we're looking to work within, is simple. So when we're looking, if we compare our systems today to our original MST ranges, then we can, especially with the Prodigy connector, when we go to the smallest, we can offer terminals that are up to 50% smaller. So taking less space within the infrastructure that you're looking to occupy. Even compared to our DLX range previously, we are looking at 30% smaller. And you can see on the graphic that we have from in here, the difference, even the difference in size between the what we class the full size OptiTap Novux terminals and the Prodigy terminals. Now with Prodigy, obviously the actual adapter or connector itself is smaller. But we offer with Prodigy the ability to fit with adapters so we can backward compatible to previous systems, be it either DLX, full size, or bayonet style of connectivity. With the approach that we've got, we try and keep to a small terminal and keep to a uniform and 3 certain sizes of terminals. So instead of in the past, we would have offered maybe MST in a 2x-N and a 4x3 presentation, as well as the mini MSTs with DLX. We are now looking just to offer 3 terminal sizes to simplify it to a small, a medium, and a large presentation in both Prodigy and full size. Another benefit or another point that we have within the Novux ecosystem is the use of QR codes that are printed onto the terminals, onto the products. And this is a modular item that is shared across all of our platforms, all of our Novux platforms. So when Peterson talks about the compact and specialty closures later, you'll see that they use the same labels, the same QR network, the same QR codes. Now behind the QR code, you can use a smartphone to scan the QR code that will take you through to a link where behind that link you can find data sheets, instructions, test results, videos, and all the other information that potentially you'll need with these terminals and with these products. We also have the ability on the majority of our products to put 2 label positions. So we've reserved a label position or an ID plate position where we can actually produce customer logos, and we can add the customer logo easily to the front of your product, and we can configure those to do that. So this will be a reoccurring theme that you see within the talks that we're doing today. The other part that we have in here as well that we share amongst all of our ranges are the accessories. So items such as strand mount kits, pedestal kits, what we call the universal mounting bracket, either with or without cable storage. They all use what we call universal mounting features that are built into the majority of our designs. So the accessories are now interchangeable amongst the different product ranges. So we've eliminated the need for bespoke accessories with different closures or terminals. So I think with that, that was a very brief overview of the hardened terminals. I'm going to pass you over to Peterson now, who's going to talk to you about the compact closures.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Peterson Moreira. I am the Global Product Line Manager for compact closures and also specialty closures. that within CommScope is called non-hardened closures, as a distinction of what Newbird has just introduced it to you guys. Again, the compact closures within the Novux family comes to brings agility, flexibility, and scalability, and everything that he previously has mentioned within Novux. Can go to the next, please. Next slide. Again, as Neil has presented previously, within Novux, we are, let's say, guided by 3 major pillars that are the ability for being simple, scalable, and configurable. The compact closures has been designed and optimized for the last mile connections, connecting customers for all different types of infrastructures that we find today, and also being future ready for the future. Here as well as an example that our compact closures are ideal to in a non-hardened kind of applications, connect from urban areas to single family, and also addressing most of the rural and very low density areas as well. Our building blocks has been designed also that we can reach not only greenfields, but also we are able to address all the brownfields and upgrades for the last mile as well. Next. So using our, let's say, guiding pillars that we have within Novux ecosystem and modularity design, we have been also addressing, in case of configurable, being more, let's say, ready for all the different field conditions that we can face, and also locations, being able to scale in a reliable, reusable, and re-enterable type of enclosures that allows us that in the same way that you can start small and being adding additional customers to your network, but we never forget in our design and our solutions for the application that the fastest that you can be for connecting customers is also the fastest that you can get return of your investment. Not only that, but we also have been, as Neil has pointed out along his presentation, there are several components that we will be discussing moving forward, where reduces some of the challenges of his first slide, where he brought in there, that is the possibility that our products are able to reuse components, that you can make installations with less skilled people as well, because this becomes as a kind of the more and the fast and everything that it requires, that we need to be more competitive to roll out of our networks. This means that in case we have shortages in skilled personnel, we can do this faster as well. We will be touching all these points in the coming slides as well. Neil, please, the next one. Right. Within the configurability possibilities within Novux, we have here within the compact family, trying to address more field conditions and locations. We have developed a family of compact standard closure, CSC, as you guys see on the top of your slides, where we are saying here, we have a family of products. We call it them CSE, that stands for Compact Standard Closures. Number in front gives you the size of the enclosure and its capacity. We have here now a full range of size that comes in 4 sizes, CSE 40, that can connect up to 8 customers if you use LC type of connector. CSE 100 that goes up to 12 drops or 12 drops in LC, 6 LC. CSE 150 that is up to 16 drops, and CSE 200 that is up to 24 drops. For some of you from Millennium team and customers, this family is a new family that works in line with our FTTC family to the ones who are, let's say, more familiar with the current CommScope offering. In order to meet some of the conditions and locations on this one, this family has been designed to be connectivity independent. So we can work on this by just splicing or with pre-connectorized drop cables, or also field installable. Not only for the connectivity on, let's say, connecting customers, but also on the technology that you can integrate into these products, where you can do just splicing from cable to cable or cable to drop cables, and also integration of passive optical devices like splitter or the TAP technology also is available across the family. Same as within the hardened family that has been explained by Neil. We have here also the possibility of the whole family being installed in a strand or pole or pedestal or flat surface mounting. All these products are ideal either for above or below ground. All of them are fully sealed enclosures. And we offer as well the possibility of in 2 colors this family, in black or gray color. This is trying to meet some of the aesthetical requirements that we have been receiving requirements from our customers. Next one. When it comes to the possibility of being reliable, reusable, re-enterable, we have introduced it within the Novux ecosystem a new gel sealing solution. CommScope is known by its gel technology for sealing enclosures. We have let's say, innovated in this case. We have now introduced the Octopus gel sealing, which has much easy access and re-enterability considered to our legacy products. Only with, let's say, we have managed to get rid of the use of blank plugs. This was a kind of request from the field that we have heard along the years, that we eliminate any error in case we were not, let's say, putting some blank plugs when you don't have a cable in that position. This has now been completely eliminated within Novux compact closures. This is also very optimized for fiber management and storage. So we have separated loop, splice, and connectorized zones. Our splice trace gives you the ability to route fibers much easier than we used to have in our legacy products. All our enclosures are IP68 rating. And I will talk a little bit more about the feeder and drop cable attachments on the coming slides, but we have also stepped in here in terms of innovation in order to make this much easier for, let's say, the customer usage. Next one here. Now, within this simple pillar here as well, so we know that faster installation has been a real demand more and more. And we have brought to this into the compact closure family our innovation around cable termination. Normally, in all compact closures that are present in the market, normally you need to do all the cable termination inside with the cable attached to the enclosure. In our new innovative situation here, we have basically have the possibility to do the full cable termination outside the closure. And once this is finished, we, by just a click into the organizer of the enclosure, we can connect the, let's say, connect your cable into the closure, and then you can finalize all your cable, fiber splice or splice towards your drops or into a splitter tap or to connect to your customer. So all the cable termination can be done outside of the enclosure. Once the termination is complete, you, by a click, as I have said, you can just click into the housing and the work is done. And what we have done here in order to simplify and minimize all the training, you guys are going to notice not only within the compact closure, but also for the specialty range closures, that all the cable terminations that we use in this family is completely reused on the other family as well. Not only all the cable terminations that we have within Novux can be reused on the different families as well. This is not the case for the hardened family that Neil has presented before. Once hardened is a fully sealed, it's not possible for you to enter or do any job into the enclosure. But for the compact closures, for the dome splice closures that is coming also to be released within the Novux closures, we have full reuse of all our cable terminations, meaning that once you have done a cable termination in one family, you can easily do on the different families as well. Maybe you can play the video, Neil, just for a quick 10 seconds video showing that we can is it? Right. So here you can do the full termination of the cable before you bring the fibers and the cable in that thing. You can click the cable into the enclosure and then do your job with the fibers and so on. Just storage, day one, and do different things as we move. Also within the pillar around simplification, as I previously mentioned, we have the same way of doing installation on all different products within the family and across the family for what we have within this family here as well. For instance, we can have with our new hinge design and locking system, we can place the hinges on the different sides of your enclosure. Here you are seeing on the left top picture, you see that we are here showing how we could use the hinges of the closure on the right hand side of your enclosure, but this can also be placed on your left hand side and also on the top of your enclosure, meaning that this brings you, depending on the location, depending on the conditions on where your enclosure needs to be installed, this brings you much more easiness on the decision that you have to take without having any issues or problems for opening and doing manipulation of the enclosure. Again, what we have done here as well is that our inner body on the second picture on the right, on the top, you guys can see that even if you can do the whole activities within your enclosure outside the housing of your enclosure. This means that you can take the inner body out, do all the splices or everything else that you have to do. And then once this job has been finalized within your van, within your table, or in the outside plant board, you can just click it back and then close the enclosure using the latches. We have also our trays. They have the stand kick mechanism or slide it. It turns on different manners for make the ease of the manipulation of the enclosure. And our fast and very intuitive way how we can use our mounting brackets by being the mounting brackets that we can just click into the housing of the enclosure or the mounting clips that, and then with these two different, let's say, mounting brackets, you can bring your product to pole, strand, wall, or pedestal possibilities. Here again, idea is to make it as simple, as intuitive as possible in order to reduce and connect customer as fast as you can. Next one. Now, I will start now talking to you guys about our specialty range closures now. This is also part of our non-hardened family. Can you go next slide, please? Right. Again, our specialty range closures, same as I don't want to repeat again, design it on our three major pillars. The specialty range closure has been designed and is optimized again for the repair that most of the cases are needed in terms of drop repair. When you have a drop that has been cut, or you have a need for reconnect two cables in case you need to do an extension of a cable, or if you just want to use as a small house demarcation, our specialty range closures is being designed for this kind of applications. Next one. Same, quite similar to the compact closures as well. So this family came to give some flexibility in the application and environment. They are also very reliable, re-enterable, and very intuitive how to use. Again, in the simplicity pillar also, the goal is that we need to do, as this is mostly used for repair situations, the fast that you can repair, the best that can be for the end customer in a network. Right. Next one. Reading the configurable possibilities here. In this family, we have three different sizes of enclosures here for the repair. So we have the what we call it SRC 100, SRC 50, and the smallest one that is coming now on end of Q2 is the SRC 10. All of them you can be used for splice only, splice patch. The SRC 150 allows also splitter in case you need to do. Here the cable sizes, they are, let's say, up to 8 millimeters or 0.32 inches for you guys, and the standard flat cables that you have in the North American market, and also blow fiber tubes. For the two bigger sizes, we have both in gray and black. The smallest size, the SRC 10, is only available in black. Here again, most of the application that we have for these products are, let's say, focusing on the repair, to do the repair fast as you can, do the repair and forget in case you need to. The big sizes allows you to re-entry then a couple of times. The smaller size, you can re-entry, but under certain conditions that we will talk a little bit later. Next one. Also, here, as you guys might been seeing as well, because of these are very compact ones made for repair and so on. Here we, let's say, we don't have the inner work that we can do outside the job. Here we need to, let's say, do the splice or the connectorization into the housing of the product. But nevertheless, for the cable terminations, all the cables that can be terminated here, you can do outside of enclosure in the same way as can be done using the same cable retention units, cable termination units that we have on our compact closures. Here as well, we have we are also using our octopus gel, meaning that here as well, we don't need the use of blank any blank plugs for do the sealing. We can use cables here up to 8 millimeter as well. That's 0.32 inches that you can use. Can be round, flat. Cable construction does not really matter here. Again, as we have in our compact closures, we have the latches to do the sealing, so you don't have trigger, you don't have any fastener, you don't need to do anything additionally for making your installation. No special tools, no nothing. As you see here as well, coming back on the front face of the on the top of the cover of the enclosure, you see as well that we have our ID plates that we call it, where you have CommScope, the name of the enclosure, and a QR code that, in the same way as being presented by Neil in the beginning of the presentation, can bring you to a landing page that you can have all the information related to the products, installation instructions, videos, and so on. And in our compact closures, and also here on the specialty closures, we have the possibility to add an additional ID plate. This ID plate can be customized as the customer wants. Can be the logo of the customer, can also indicate another QR code. It's up to the customer to decide how the ID plate can look like, that you can just click into that and have that available. Next one, Neil. And into the simplicity as well, is just that the top cover of the enclosure can be removed. We have mounting tabs that is inbuilt into the housing. In this case, we don't have dedicated mounting brackets. You can screw this to the wall. On the back, you have also the possibility to use straps where you can then bring this to a pole, for instance. Also, we have hinges. Those hinges allows this to make it very easy during the installation. And again, here we are gonna do a full reuse of the cable terminations that we also use into our compact closures. Next. Right, and yeah, this is in a very quick presentation we brought for you guys today our new Novux platform ecosystem that has as the idea to solve most of the challenges that the industry has put into us, and this is how we are addressing most of them in order to bring to our customers the best of connectivity that we have. I know it was quite fast and quite intense to bring 3 different families in one day. But the idea today was to bring you guys a short overview on what the Novux platform is and the flexibility that we have on the released product lines. And of course, we are at your disposal for more in-depth training and presentations, webinars for going into all the details and specifications that all these 3 different families can bring to you all. And I hand it back to everyone for questions and answers.
Yeah, thank you, Neil and Peterson, for going over that information. We do just have a few quick questions that we gotten over the course of the presentation. One of the first ones I'll actually be able to answer. It's asking about we'll be sending out the recording after this. And yes, we will be sending out the recording of this call after once I get it back from Zoom itself. Another question, in your guys' opinion, what kind of contractor would be the most ideal for this new product line when trying to sell it?
Hi there, Evan, Peterson, Neil. I'm going to launch into this one. I think I could answer this. Welcome to the crew there. I'd like to see that some of the Millennium that were just out here for training are on as well. With regard to the contractors, that's one of the great things about the Novux series of products are when we talk about modularity. Some other item that we'd like to talk about with regard to the field application engineering and the installation of it is the commonality. You saw that there are some fairly common parts with regard to mounting. There are common parts that are used as cable termination units. So the craftsperson that comes in can be fairly new in the installation industry, in that we could train them to understand what is that cable termination type of process, the mechanics of that, and they can carry that over into other products within the Novux series. So the type of contractor, you will still have your construction crew that will be installing this. There are instances where you will need splicing contractors that are trained splicers in the closures where you're conducting splicing. But there are a number of products and a greater flexibility of the parts you know, the parts that allow for some plug and play actions. So that's where, when we get into the ability to hook up and daisy chain certain hardened terminals and using the specialty, the SXT line, the specialty terminals, those are all lend into the flexibility where you can have some set of fairly experienced splicers doing work, and then some contractors that might be some new folks that are coming in that can be taught how to clean a connector end and just make those connections. So hopefully that answered that. It still is your fairly wide range, but we can drive it towards some fairly new personnel that would come in and receive some training.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. And then we have one more question. This one says, do you see any of the Novux products replacing any of the current CommScope product lines?
Yeah, if I take that one first, Peterson, the answer to that one will be yes. So we will start to see, certainly on the hardened terminals, the full size hardened terminals will start to phase out the more traditional MST starter terminals that we offered. And obviously we will start to see more of the prodigy terminals, especially to overcome some of the challenges we outlined earlier, we will start to see some of those proliferate in the marketplace. That's for sure.
Yeah, the same is valid for compact and special closures as well, the non-hardened portfolio. But we are not gonna start any replacement exercise until the full family is fully released. This is also important to mention that we will maintain for quite some time legacy products. They are gonna survive, and they are gonna be together with Novux products for quite some time until we can do a full transition to the Novux platforms.
All right. Thank you guys again. That was all the questions that we have received. But again, just a reminder to everyone on the call, we will be sending out the recording. So you guys will be able to kind of recap all of this information. But Neil or Peterson or Mark, unless you guys have anything else, then we are all done.
I think just for me on there, Evan, just to reiterate what Peterson said earlier, if anyone requires any further information or more details on what we talked about, we recognize we skimmed the surface on a lot of it. There's a lot more below. If there's more detailed questions, then please reach out directly to either me or Peterson or to Mark. We'll do our best to answer them for you.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much. We truly appreciate you guys being able to take time out of your days to come and help us out.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
Right.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice one.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.